Alright, we are now live. Hello everyone and welcome to this today's live stream. I know it's been a little while, I've been busy. But anyway, there's some cool new stuff for us to try out in the experimental branches of Blender 4.4. So, in this case, we have the NPR branch of Blender, where there are a lot of cool things, but today, I'll be taking a look at the NPR stuff, but also the repeat zones, because I just hacked this together from old projects, and yeah, we have repeat zones in the shader editor in the 4.4 experimental branch. Also, I should note, if you go and download this branch, it is very experimental. They let you know just on Blender start screen. And also, any files you make may not be compatible with the future updates. Which, yeah, it's good to know that just going in. So stuff like this, it may just... all these files may become useless as time goes on, but we don't know. But yeah, in this case, yeah, repeat zones for ray marching. So in the past, when you would ray march or do any kind of iterative effect in the shader editor, it would be rather expensive and a huge pain to work with, because you would have to copy a node group again and again and again. But now, you don't even need a node group, even though I have just for convenience sake right here. In this case, this is the ray marching for this fractal. So as we can see here, that's just step one, you know, nothing too extreme, but as we keep going, we can see more and more. And if I am correct... oh god. That was not what I meant to do. I did not mean to put it to that many steps. But as we can see, it feels more performant than it was in the past. You know, maybe we don't want it to be that high. That's actually interesting, because Eevee and Fractals don't usually mix all too well. I haven't tried this with cycles. I think I'll let that sit because I have a good feeling that'll just straight up crash. But yeah, we'll save that for next time. So in this case, we can see with the fractal, inside the actual fractal setup, I made this a while ago, so I don't quite remember what I did here. Yeah, that's just, oh, okay, so that's just that, and that. Okay. Interesting. So in this case, we can see fractal step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still a little... oh, I was like, why is this a float instead of an integer? I think that's because the shader editor does not have integers yet. That would explain it. As we can see here, as this goes up, the fractal becomes much, much more detailed, which I don't think we can even see the details at this point because they're so incredibly small. So I may have to go and increase these. Nope, we just straight up can't see it. Let me try to edit a few of the values. Oh, that's cool. It's been such a long time since I've actually gone and worked with fractals, and they are quite nice. Okay, yeah, that's just... I'll need to go and remember how to deal with all of this. This is quite cool. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual NPR part of the NPR branch. So over here, this part is part of a demo blend file that the Blender, or the NPR branch devs have created, where here we can see we're getting the curvature of the mesh. But that's not in the regular shader editor. As we can see here, the material output now has a kind of node group thing right here, which, if we press tab, this is now a node group. And this is kind of, if I understand it correctly, which my understanding of it is fairly basic, I'm fairly new to it, I have not had too much time to play around with it. Let me make sure all the audio levels are okay. Yeah, those seem to be all good. Okay, oh, and I have another part of Blender. I have two parts of Blender open outside of this one, so let me just close out those really, really quickly. Okay. Alright, so in here, this gets the curvature of the thing, of the mesh, which as we can see here, that's a bit complicated to get started out on, so let's go and do something simple. So I guess in this case, what can we do to make this better? Maybe I can get the position... oh yeah, would that actually work? No, that wouldn't get the normal correctly. Okay. So in this case... how do I properly showcase the NPR branch? Yeah. Okay, let's start out with this fractal. So here, we're still in the NPR... hello? It looks like something has gone awry. Oh, I switched objects when in the NPR tab. Yeah, that part's still a little bit funky. There we go. Now we go into the NPR tab, and there is an NPR input and an NPR output. So this is basically the image in pixels. This is an image socket, which I confused with the image texture socket. One of the things we've been waiting for a long time is like a texture input like we have in geometry nodes, because node groups and assets with that need like texture inputs are very difficult to do when they're locked behind this and you don't have, yeah, but anyway. This is an image socket in terms of pixels, not in terms of like a constant value, which is what would be needed in the other parts. But yeah, that's that. And we can do cool stuff like if we use a image sample, we can offset the image, which you may be thinking, let's see, I don't think we have the vector, we'll see. You may be wondering, why do we want this? Because we can just offset the images in 3D space, and it looks very, very funky, very, very cool. That's because we can do a lot of interesting things in screen space. So in this case, we're getting the screen space curvature, this could be used for like sketch lines and stuff like that. And I forgot what was over here. Oh, this is the shading method. Why aren't you working? Why are you not working? Sunlight is not functioning as intended. I don't think I broke this. Oh yeah, and there's light loops, which we'll get into. But let me just reorient myself really quickly, because I believe I have partly disoriented myself. Let's see, so we have that, but I'm not seeing... Hello, sunlight? You around? We have that, but it's not showing up. Anyway. We'll take a look at that in a quick second. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that I need to go and decipher and figure out. Okay, so if you have time, I think we'll get started on that now. I do wonder if I can efficiently get the fractal normal just with this. Though, no, I don't think that would work, because that would... Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Because I need to... Or no, that's when you use the bump map. Would it be possible for me to offset the image, but the position image... Maybe. If I use some... Oh, wait. Could I possibly get the... No, that's the normal input right there, then that happens. If I could swap out that normal... No, that wouldn't work either. Okay, never mind. Will this stay up as a VOD? Probably. Like, the previous streams were very hacked together because I've had a lack of time. But I think this one is, you know, it'll probably be good enough for it to stay up as a VOD. Okay. This will be interesting. So here we can mix between, oh wait, if I turn on ray trace transmission, that can possibly make it so that I can make the depth map interact with that. Ooh, that could be very interesting. Let's see. No, not geometry node editor, shader editor. Let's see. If I can get the accurate distance from there, I can make it so that this fractal kind of works in actual 3D space. Like, this will be able to interact with actual 3D objects. But how do I do that properly? Like, I kind of do have the distance. If I just get the length, we put that into there. We should have the distance, but it won't be the accurate distance. I do not think. Oh, and this is working in world space. Interesting. Very interesting. Because right now, yeah, they're not interacting. So there's a chance I can make them interact by offsetting the kind of flipping distance, but this is going to be very interesting if I can pull it off. I should start simple, but I never do that. Okay, I can mix between... Wrong node, mix... Oh, right, these image sockets. Search does not work well on image sockets yet. So we have that part, and then we have the combined color for both of those. So in this case, we can mix between, since this is a refractive or ray trace transmission material, we can switch from the actual object and then what the object sees on the other side, which in this case, it doesn't see the gray background, so it would be like that. There we go. We can do that and that. I need to figure out how to make it so that these parts will offset into cube. Get the diffuse color. What would that do? Or, I guess, combined color in this case. Let me just use a map range. Again, search is a little bit funky when you drag it out from that image socket. Let's see. Sun doesn't work in material preview. Right, thank you very much. I forgot about that. Okay, we're seeing something interesting. So now this is kind of affecting the alpha. But I want it so that it'll only affect... Oh no, wait, it can't work. Damn it. I keep forgetting if this can actually work. I don't think in this case. It would have to be an overlay instead of an underlay. Yeah. Alright, that is unfortunate, but we can get the distance between the position of that and there. Kind of like how I did before. So here we're getting the distance to cubes. Oh, and by the way, this object is inverted with backface calling enabled. Yeah, so that happens. Shadow. Yeah, I'll get back to that in a second. We can just move this over to here, do that. And then we can see that here, you get the distance to the cube. And then we can throw a map range onto there. I don't think, yeah, Node Wrangler does not work for this part. So we can go and do that. There we go. So in this case, if I'm correct, it's acting a little bit weird. I wonder why. There's an NPR and then that, and we're getting distance between them. Okay, no, it is working. Okay. Here. No, but I don't want to do that. I want to switch between that and this. There we go. Okay. And because Eevee Next does not have proper shadow culling, they got rid of that, and people, well, you kind of have to add it in manually, and that's annoying to do. How do we do that again? Transparent shadows? No, that's... I forgot how to do that. Because that's being read as emissive. You know, we're not going to worry about that right now. But yes, as that person in chat was saying, in the regular mode, we can see that the lights here are working as intended. This lighting is not happening in there. This part doesn't matter. It's all happening in the virtual world here. So this is just using, they set up the Lambert, half Lambert Fong, and Blindfong, I forget how you pronounce that, shading methods. So it's kind of a way to make your own shading, which is very cool. It's nice that we can do that instead of having to be locked in to the hard-coded nodes. I always like that. When you don't have to rely on, you know, hard-coded stuff. Or different, let's see. When you don't have to wait for the next version of Blender for something to be implemented, you can implement it now using the tools available. Okay. Yeah, there's that, and we can do a lot of cool things because you get the distance, the attenuation. In this case, the attenuation, if I can showcase this properly, let's go and hook that into the output. When you have multiple lights, things do act a little bit funky. So in this case, whichever light is like first, it'll act weird. But in this case, we can see the attenuation, which is basically, you know, the fall off for the light. So if we have multiples of these, we can see that nothing happens, but it does switch between which light is first. That's because in this loop, only the last light goes out there. So what we need to do is add the attenuation to the attenuation over time, and then it goes through there. So now we can see that there are multiple lights being sent out there, and it's only their attenuation which gives this very interesting subsurface scattering effect, even though it is just, you know, lights with no shadow. But we can still implement our own shadow now. So if we multiply the attenuation by the shadow mask, we can see that if we bring this up here, boom, we have a nice and extremely crisp shadow, which is quite good. Like, this looks very stylized, simply because, well, there is absolutely no blending between, well, yeah, the attenuation. Yeah, there's no fall off from what's aligned to the, what's aligned with the light and what's not, which is why you would be using the shading models in this case. Again, we can just replace, actually, yeah, I'm doing basically the same thing. If we do this and then we swap out, here, let me go and take out the attenuation. Also, new thing, there's a lot more space here. This used to be a solid panel, but now just the parts that are necessary show up. Very nice. I like that. Okay, so we can do that, and then we can add, but yeah. If I go and disable the shading method, we should see that these are just the lights. Just straight up the lights with no fade off to where they are besides the actual shadow. We can go and crank this up, and we can see that looks very nice and stylized. But if we turn off the attenuation as well, we can see that, you know, it's just at the constant brightness the entire time. Which, you know, is interesting. Not quite what you want. But yeah, if you want some nice stylized stuff, you can do that now. I guess we can also use the image sample in order to get a nice fake rim light effect. Actually, let's do that next. Okay, we're at 17 minutes. That is not bad. Let's see. What would be a torus? Maybe a good demo project for this. So here, let's go into the material, and we have to go back to there, make a new one, and pop into there. So we can get the position, the normal, and all that, but we just need a white color that I can offset, and then it'll be black wherever the object isn't. So I could use the diffuse color, because that is just plain old white in this case, and then I can use an image sample to offset it in, yeah, let's do pixels. So I can use it 1, XYZ. There we go. So we can do that, and now we have a kind of rim light mask. Now we can make it so that a light will determine if it shows up there, but I think in this case it's fine. We can use a greater than, but let's just use a mix RGB node. I need to slow down in order to not trip over my own words. Oh, interesting. It's not fully one way or the other. Wait, why is that purple? I'm using standard, right? Yeah, that should be perfect. Image offset, the diffuse color is just white. It's not just white. There we go, that's white. Then that gets offset. Oh wait, I'm using... No, I am using the diffuse color. But why? To be honest, I am slightly confused. We look at this, that's just that data, and then over there it's blue. Interesting. If we look at the position, oh wait, position with that being offset, that just looks like that. Oh, and we can see over there, that's cool. Then if it's the diffuse color, everything else is black because nothing has this material. If we had two objects, that would be two materials with the same object, so that would be properly offset. I don't understand why this part is a little more gray. Diffuse color, diffuse direct. Yeah, no, nothing's happening there. Use indirect, specular color. Yeah, no, it should just be diffuse color. Well, there's still, I see a hint of shading, but let's not worry too much about that right now. If it shows up the correct color, it shows up the correct color. So in this case, we can have an object. I need to look into that. Let me use a greater than just so that we do not have to... Yeah, there we go, okay. Let's make this 0.00001 so that it'll be anything above 0 will be the other color. Okay, so now, effectively, you have kind of rim light. Not great. I think we would have to have a blur node in here, which we could use with a white noise texture. Actually, do I have a quick object that I could throw together with a cool texture on it? I could just use the torus, like a normal person. Voronoi texture, plug that into there. Turn up the scale so that we have something nice and crazy. Let's take a look at this. So now we have a nice torus just doing its job, having a great grand old time. Then we can bring this over to here. And what I'm going to do next is blur it rather than offset it. As we can see, that looks pretty cool already. So we'll plug in the position just so that we get a nice random value. I don't think we have the Eevee map for this. This may crash. Oh! I did not expect that. I did not expect that we actually had... Wait a minute, okay. I did not expect that all these inputs actually worked. I thought they were just carryovers from the other one, the shader editor. I guess NPR is, yeah, it is just an extension of that. Okay, so we have way more options than I thought. So we do have the window Eevee map and all that good stuff. Good, good. Okay. This is why I do all of these tests, so I fully understand what I am working with. And now that we do know what we're working with, we can make a very noisy and extremely noisy blur effect, where the torus, in this case, let's subtract 0.5 so that offsets it in the positive and negative directions, gets blurred. But this blur is only in kind of screen space. So if we do this, let's see. Oh, I thought the black would spill into there because it was being rendered in back of there, but I could be wrong. So here, as we can see, it's just blurred. We can blur, add all kinds of very interesting effects. I guess we can make like a glass shattering effect. So let's do that. So our Voronoi texture, we can do that. It's not normalized, so we don't need that or that. We can set it to be 2 dimensions so that it's extremely fast. I guess that means I can make the fractal in here as well. We can do that, and now we have a very nice and cool looking... Oh, the color is... Dang it, I forget that the color is not normalized. Or not on... You know what I mean. It does not follow the normalization checkbox. So here we can go and just severely mess up the look here. And anything that is not showing up, we can go and turn it to be transparent, assuming that ray trace transmission is enabled. So this will lead to some very interesting things. So if this is less than, the color output is less than 0.001, we will switch between the just that color and the refraction color. Okay, let's do that. Let's do a mix. There we go. We put that into there. We could put this into there. And as we can see, we have something very trippy that we haven't really quite been able to do before. Because we can make things, you know, somewhat transparent. But it wouldn't, like, distort the silhouette quite like this. We can do that, and ooh, look at that. Nice. You can see it looks like much more 3D than you would expect. We can still use the Eevee map to affect the offsets here. Oh! We are entering the golden age. Golden age of NPR effects. Look at that. Like, it's not 3D, but it looks 3D. Just imagine how... Oh, actually, wait, we could do this with Fractal. We could do that with Fractal and mixing that. But... No, this is still something We could just... Wait, I could just refract what's in back and call it a day. Yes. age of NPR is upon us. There we go. So in this case, whatever's in back of here will be distorted. The mask will be rather accurate. That's cool. We can make all kinds of cool Spider-Verse glitching effects. Which, oh, speaking of stylized rendering, the next season of Arcane is out, or at least the first 3 episodes. They are amazing. Go watch them right now. Get off the stream and go watch them. They are amazing. But yes. Okay, so here I can add in more distortion. Go. Look at that. So all kinds of ice effects will be much easier to do, because this will kind of... I guess it's like what they can do in game engines. That is good. Okay. So what other inputs do I have at my disposal? Okay, basically all of those. Volume info. Oh, volume info. That could be interesting. Let's see. Camera data, color, curves, Fresnel. Yeah, all the standard stuff. And then the outputs, yeah, AOVs and NPR. Okay. So we can use AOVs as an input, which is good. Because this can lead to us having different passes for objects, and then, you know, doing some great stuff. Go. Okay, anything else that I want to specifically try? Let's go back to the object here, and I'm going to disable this on here, so that we have the fractal back, which I really like how this fractal looks. Like, look at it, it's amazing. Let's see. Oh, this fractal setup I got from copying Late as Usual's setup, so it's probably much more mathematically accurate than my kind of hacked together one. But this one does allow you to kind of cull the inside of an object, which I kind of did by accident. But this one is much more, you know, standard, where you can actually, you know, scale the spheres and all that. Like look at that, infinite spheres. And then if you just get the distance to there, you can see, yeah, all that's great. We multiply the input, yeah. All that is great. Here, actually, let's get the distance instead, so that I can kind of move the light source about. There we go, we can move the light source back and forth. And again, we can turn up the ray march passes so that we get an actual setup here. That is looking very cool. Okay, what else can we do? We could go and make it so that the light is extremely subtle and small. Hi from France. Hello. How's it going? Let's see. That is looking very cool. And we can do other shapes, but spheres are the easiest. So yeah, there are many things that I need to discover all of the rules around the NPR system. And then I can start to, oh, that was interesting. How it kind of glitched into the pre-NPR part and then it applied the NPR. Makes sense, like, you know. It's actually compiling fast, which I was very surprised by. Oh wait, is this using Vulkan under the hood now? Because this is the updated branch. I don't know. Because this is feeling a lot fast. Oh wait, maybe it doesn't have to recompile when you turn up the iterations. That is amazing. I really like that. You no longer have to wait a year and a day for it to compile the... Oh, that is so good. I really, like, I do not expect the NPR branch to be merged in Blender 4.4, but if we can get the repeat zone in 4.4, I haven't checked the main branch yet, that would be amazing for shader editor people. It looks like they're, you know, going through and adding some parity between the GeoNode and shader editors, and that is incredible. I'm quite happy about that. Oh, and I also heard that Blender 4.3 has been delayed by like 2 weeks, is it? I think it's coming out on the 18th. So I think it was supposed to come out last week, but probably some bugs. It's very good that they're delaying it because 4.2 had some emergency updates, which was a little. We had a few crashes when we were going over Blender 4.2 on stream when it first came out. So it's good that they're taking their time with that. Look at this fractal. Something I somewhat did by accident, or at least the color scheme was done by accident, and the kind of culling technique. It's looking very cool. I also need to rediscover what these parts do. I'm going to assume that the smooth maximum does something. Huh. Oh, I think I got it now. I think I got it. It's a maximum, but I put in the smooth just for options, I think. Which means that one of these axes is not behaving the way it should, the z-axis. But I can see no discernible difference actually, no, I can see a little subtle difference. We subtract, things go haywire. So that part is not even necessary. But if I turn that off, nothing really changes. So wait, is this... Yeah, what is the point of this part? I think that part's not what we need to worry about. Here we have... Yes, that affects a lot. Ooh, look at this. All that detail. YouTube compression is loving that, I am sure. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Whoa, okay. I forgot that could appear. Look at those little guys. Can you NPR the world? You can NPR the world. That will lead to very interesting stuff. I did not expect that. Oh, no, it makes sense. It makes sense that that would happen. Interesting. So what can I do to edit this? Ooh, there we go. Okay, we're getting some cool stuff here. Wow. You know, after watching Arcane, I know... Well, actually, no, that's a spoiler. Never mind. Let's see. Make the fractal the world shader. I don't entirely want to do that because here I get to move through the layers with this setup. Like, look at that. It's like an onion. Well, if it was the world, it would just exist, and I wouldn't be able to, like, Boolean all this. Whoa. This is amazing. And actually working, the performance is not bad. Let's set this back to be 1. And then we can go and deal with... okay, there we go. There we go. So let's make this part a bit bigger so that we can see more. Whoa. This is why I imagined like a alien computer to look like. Algorithmic, but organic in a way. Look at all this. Sorry that I'm missing out on the NPR stuff. It's just... fractals in Blender have never been this performant. Is my computer... Okay, my computer is a little bit... It's running a bit higher, I can hear the fan. But then again, I am viewing this in full screen to get the maximum detail. I'm seeing some, like, ghost spheres in here. Look at that. Look at that. We can go even further beyond, but then that just makes it so that all the spheres disappear. Let's go even further. That looks like that. Well, that's slightly disappointing, but maybe we can... not quite. Do other stuff. Because if we scale this like that, and then if we scale it higher... Yeah, no. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on over there? No, that's normal. Okay. To do next. Okay, so if we extend the bounds on one axis more than the others, then we get stuff like that. Whoa. Sorry that this is very addicting. This. Wow. I've seen fractals somewhat like this, but never quite like this. I know, fractals have never been this performant. Look at that. I want to see this in VR, but I think there's a very low probability that it would be performant in VR. Could I? Actually, wait a second. If I... No, that wouldn't work. That would not work. Let's try to balance these out, because I want it to be... Yeah, ew, no. Not quite what I was hoping for. That looks cool, like that. That looks like you're about to enter the void. Look at that. Then we can scale this and then see everything. Oh, whoa. Ah, that makes sense. So the okay, I get it now. You can see the worlds, the different layers of the onions. And if we squish these parts, we can see that, you know, it's just freaking out. But it's very freaking cool. We do this. We can see the mirrors. And we can see what happens when we do this. Okay, never mind. Somewhat cool, but no, it's messing with the distance. So we have that again, and then if we do that, it goes and collapses in on itself. Then we have that. It does feel like it's lagging a little bit. But maybe that's just when there's a big change, it takes a little bit to... I don't know. Okay. What else can I do? So the dot product is... if I remember correctly, the dot product here is just the length squared or to the power of 2. Or, power 2, yeah. So yeah, both of those have the same exact effect. Okay, yep. I remember some math. We can do that, and then we can make these parts smaller or bigger. I feel like I should be able to see more. Let's look inside the capsule and crank up the steps, which this may be a horrible, horrible idea. Oh wait, no, that's not the problem. It's using the offset, and then that's the position. So if I use a checker texture, it won't look correct because there is no... Oh god, oh no. This is fine. There we go. Yeah, no, that's actually looking fairly stable. YouTube compression will kill this entirely. So I do need to use the length, or in this case the distance, and then use a 1 divide to make that kind of light again. We can move it through and we can see. You can see the lights in the fractal. I need to remember how to make a ray tracer, or, you know, get shadows in shader editor, because I have completely forgotten. Because this, we may be able to actually do fractals in Blender now, and not have it lag into oblivion. It is fascinating. The music is matching the vibe. Full of wonder. And I guess I could wrap the position so that we can make the light appear every so often. Let's set that to be there, and then we can set that to be like that. Then like that. So every 20... Ooh, that's cool. Every 20 meters, there will be that. And then if I normalize... No, come on, buddy. Normalize that, and then scale that by that, we should get a lit color based on... There we go. One side should be... Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's cool. Let's see, let's go and move this out of the way. We just have you. How's this different? Oh wait, I should read the chat in order. Wait. How's this different in Substance Painter texture stacking from Blender? I think that's very different. I haven't used Substance in a long time. So, I assume that this is... I don't remember Substance having a kind of repeat zone functionality. But texture stacking, this is extremely different than that. Ow. This is something cool. And then we could use the checker texture in order to get, you know, just a little bit more detail in all this. And the good thing... Yeah, no, this is good. We'll use a multiply. This will make the colors darker. But there we go. Great, now we can actually see the surface, get a feel for the surface. But that looks very ugly. Let's just use the checker texture. That also looks very ugly. Let's set this to be 10. Nah, that still doesn't look all too great. I normalized it. Shouldn't that be enough? Oh wait, no, yeah, that distance. Yep. Set that to be 4, 3, 2. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, let's go back to the stuff that actually looked good. Not worry about the other stuff. Okay. Progress. It's good to see progress. Did I script the onion here? Or was this just scaled to 2? So I think that was just scaled to 2. Have all that and then that. Good. Can you try to move the light based on the music? Unfortunately, no. Blender, well, at least by default, Blender does not have the ability to access the sounds that are currently playing on my computer. If I did this in Unity, then probably. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on the cat. We're going on a trip. Yes, we are. What substance you would take to get on this trip, I do not know. But it is a trip. Let's see. Okay, I feel like we're nearing the end of what I can do with this fractal. I do want to save it in its current condition because I will not remember this layout, and I want to get some cool shots of this. Because I haven't been able to put anything up on social media recently. I've just been too busy, and the world has been on fire. Which has been fun. We have that. Ooh, that's cool. I could make cubes. There are... What other things can I do to make this cooler? Ooh. Negative 0.2, or 0.1 and 0.1. That just makes that, which is interesting, but not interesting enough. It is interesting now that we can go down and up the Ray March steps now. So this is so incredibly... It's cool seeing how SDF or Ray Marching steps resolve. Let's multiply this by 2, because that is the actual distance. Okay, that makes it more inaccurate, so we just want the regular distance. Okay, yeah, that makes complete and total sense. I remember in one of my tests, like 1.5 was stable, but no, I am completely wrong. So just take the distance and do all that. For a long time, well, when I was, I don't know, like 15 or so, I first heard about, or no, maybe I was 17, and I first heard about Ray Marching. I was like, wait, this is so cool, why don't all games use it? It's because it's ridiculously expensive compared to triangles when you try to do more complex stuff. But to make an infinite array of spheres, it works pretty well. Actually, speaking of that, we can do more with this. So if we use a separate XYZ node, then we say absolute this, and then we add this to there. Or no, we want to smooth maximum. The best part about Ray Marching is that or was it smooth min? Smooth min, smooth max. Tract. That creates that, and then I can blend it more. Okay, yeah, it needs to be a smooth min. Uh-oh. I may, wait, what? Okay. Okay, it is blending now, so that's something. There we go. And let me turn off the absolute. That was probably what was, making it freak out a bit. Okay, here we go. So now we have all of these spheres in the world, but if I animate this, if I get the scene time, oh right, we don't have a scene time node in the shader editor. If we do get, which I expect that we will get constants in the shader editor, we can finally get a scene time node, which would be very, very nice. Let's divide that instead. So here we can see that all these are getting blended together in a nice soup. There we go. And actually, let's go and reverse this. So that it looks like they're merging. You know how donuts go through... I could try making a torus, but I forget how to make a torus SDF. You know how donuts go through that glazing process? And yeah, it kind of looks like that, to a degree. Let's see, I'm getting a little bit bored of the distance. Or, actually no, let's go and wrap the light, or the quote-unquote light, so that it happens every 10 meters. Here we go. Okay, it's looking a little bit... let's make it so that there's only one on each floor. Okay. Looks like we need to crank up these steps. Like, this is where Ray Marching, if I didn't do something horribly incorrect, this is where Ray Marching likes to not do well. Far distances. But close distances, we can see that's work. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm peeking through the mesh, that's why. If we go underneath, we're looking inside of the parts that you're not supposed to see, and it is not having a good time. But here we can do more. We don't need to do this with spheres. We can do this with a noise texture. So I am slightly worried how expensive this will be. Oh well. I can feel it chugging a bit, but it's not too bad. Oh, it's actually working. Okay, okay, okay. We're actually seeing some stuff. Okay, so I think instead of smooth min, smooth max, we want to do that. Oh, if we turn up the detail, it's gonna... Yep, there we go, now it's chugging. Let's set this to be 30 steps. That's a bit better. You can see that it's still warping a lot, and that's just fractal stuff. Because this noise is fractal noise. We need 2 gets. Let's get the fraction so that we can see. Colors. There we go. There you are. Yeah, we can see how the world is warping. How it shouldn't. Should I just add to there? Use a multiply. Turn off the normalize. Connect that into there. And we can switch that to be an add. Call it a day. Okay. Here we can see that the distance is now acting weird. And there is something I'm supposed to do with like dot producting to fix the distance so that this glitching does not occur. But unfortunately, I forgot how to do that. So, yeah. Very cool, very nice, very interesting. Okay, I don't know why it's freaking out. It goes below 0. Oh, wait, no, we know why. We know why. This is not supposed to be going below 0. Or actually, no, it's a signed distance field. So it should be fine either way. My ignorance. My ignorance. We're getting an environment like that, but we could do more. Oh, this means that parallax. We can do parallax without having a ton of... Oh, that's fantastic. We can finally do parallax mapping correctly. That's nice. We have that world, and then that world. And then, if I go and play this, we can see that it's trying to escape. Trying to move beyond that world. Let's go and make it so that's adding to the spheres. Oh my god, what have I done? Well, that's nice. That's cool. Nothing's broken there. But I think I'm supposed to be using the maximum instead of the... Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's go and do that. Oh, God. I'm breaking this, and it's not supposed to be doing that. Okay, if we put you back to there. Okay. What did I do? Everything looks okay. I turn up the steps. It just makes it slightly more accurate, but that part is freaking out. Is that because of... Oh, okay. Okay, that's why. That's why. That explains everything. There we go. Now we can see. We can see everything. Let's go and reconnect that and wait like a millisecond for everything to recalculate because it doesn't have to... How did we live without the repeat zone while doing fractals? Okay, so we can do that, set that to be like 4, and then make it a little more influential. Then we can make that move up, but I'll just make the noise move up instead. We can see that those are... I don't know, do I need to add it? We have a lot of 3D spheres being warped by the noise. Interesting. Not quite what I was hoping. That's pretty cool, pretty nice. Decent. Interesting. Quite interesting. Still not quite what I was looking for. So the question is, I forget. How do we get the normal from this? I think we'll save that for another time. Yeah. Okay, let's go and reset this to the simple version because I broke enough for today. Look at that. The spheres are so loopy, so goopy because of the SDF blending, the remarching steps. Look at that. Oh wait, I can set random colors to these. The one rule with all these is that they can't overlap just because the cells are repeating. But since I actually have the distance, I can snap and then white noise. Snap. No, they're centered at 0, so I might have to subtract 0.5 and then it's fine. Let's use a snap node instead of a floor so that I can set the increments. Oops, my bad. Then use a white noise texture. Yeah, we can set it to 3D. Then scale. Scale that by that. Take a look. There we go. Now, we have an infinite amount of spheres. Infinite amount of spheres. Wow. The people much smarter than me will have a field day with all of this. And it's funny that I'm in the NPR branch and focusing more on just the repeat zone than the NPR, just because it makes apparently it makes things more performant when doing iterative stuff. Which makes sense, you know, actually having a loop instead of creating a pseudo loop, which just makes an extremely heavy node setup. Look at that. And it is very nice to see that geometry nodes is benefiting the shader editor, which has happened, you know, quite a few times. I think the, no, I forget what parts of geometry nodes have been carried over into the shader editor, but it is good to see that it does happen. I really want to get the normal, but do I need to offset? Dang. I wish I knew, because that... Oh wait, I could have a repeat zone. And then just do 3 iterations. No, that wouldn't work out well. But... could potentially... I could get the normal, but my brain's not working correctly. I don't remember. Okay, what else can we do? We can separate. Yeah, let's make a better color space. If we take out the Z, then we kind of get a very nice Eevee map. Gradients. Which looks a bit kind of like fall, which is nice. I didn't want to do this, but let's go and make a square. Separate X, Y, Z. We need to get the distance, or no, we will make this a smooth maximum, I forget. Let's try both. And then we use value here to set the smooth amount. This is how we make a smoothened cube. Then we can use a subtract node and plug this into here. Ah, there we go. We have, oh, whoa. That is, I think I have screwed up. Because oh, wait a second. They're inverted. Whoa, that's trippy. That is extremely trippy, and I am loving it. So how do we fix this? Smooth max? Smooth max. Yeah, this will work. There we go. Nice, regular, rounded cubes. We'll subtract it a little bit less, and then we'll do that. There we go, nice. Now, you can finally play Parkour Civilization inside of Blender. Okay, let's make it so that, how far spaced out are these? They are, okay, so they're 2 meters apart. So if I set it to be 0.5, there will be 1 meter in between them. So yes, now this is properly, actually wait, not quite. Whoa. Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. Let's set this to be 25 and negative 25. There we go. Now you get the proper Parkour Civilization experience. Wow. An infinite grid. I need to invert the normal of this cube and then turn on backface culling. There we go. So now we can, oh wait, and I need to set this to be the geometry position. I'm slightly, okay, no, the ray marching is working as intended. There we go. So now we can boolean all of this so that we can see everything. There we go, -5 and 5. Let's see. There we go. Anything else I should do? Because we're at 1 hour, and I feel like I can keep going for a while, but I'm not sure specifically what to do. I don't have the normals, and I did have the normal setup. It's not here. Though it is fascinating how small you can make the node setup now. Though, here, let me make this as small as it can be. So we do not need, this just needs to be a maximum, and that needs to be a maximum. Yeah, there we go. We do that, and then instead, I forget, can I do this just by setting that to be there and then doing that to that? Does that fix everything? Okay, that looks like it is. But no, well, if it's... I want to make it so that it doesn't glitch out. Let's double check to see. Okay, no, that makes it so that it's not horribly glitching out. Set that to be 2. Oh. Okay, no, it was the same. So if we do that, then that works fine. I subtract 0.1. Oh, that's why I subtracted 0.1. And that's why we couldn't see all the details. Okay. That's why. I probably did it for... Did I do that just to make it a little bit brighter, or was there like a float point precision error I was trying to avoid? Let's go into here. How many steps is this doing? It's doing 20. Wow. Before I only could do 6 before it started lagging out. There we go. I just wish I could see more. Zoom in, and then turn it up. Yeah, no. When it gets to 10, we can't even see the fractal nature of it anymore. And then here, this is just the distance squared, and then that does that. I forget why is there a W? Do we need the W? No, wait. Oh no, we do need the W value. Okay, okay. That plugs into there, and then that fixes... Okay. Excusez-moi. So 0, 1? Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about that part. I'm just going to assume that that is 100% needed. 100%. I could just go and ungroup. Yeah, let's go and ungroup this part. Ungroup. There we go. So now we have the actual fractal all laid out so that we can actually see it. There we go. And we could have that part on top. Yeah, that's fine as is. We can compress the node setup even more and make it harder to see what's going on. Yeah. There we go. That's a bit better. Still not great, but it's, I think this is a bit too compressed. Oh well. Oh well. Wait, what if I flip these? It's my bad. Not doing anything special? Okay. I forget what the W value does. That and that. I'll set that to 5 and 5 because it looks to be the same. Like, wow, this is so cool. Imagine, like, a room. Like, one of these spheres was like a little, I guess, like, pod or something that could be a room. That would be, like, really weird. And these look like cushions. Well, it looks like cushions, but not particularly comfortable. Man, this is the weirdest thing. Weirdest thing. But yeah, that's a easier way of doing that. I forget. Because this is just making a sphere that's squared. Let's see. This is what you see when you fall in the couch like a coin. Yeah. Also, Ashley, hello. I've been watching some of your experiments with the NPR branch. I haven't dissected all of them, and I haven't been able to experiment all too much, but it is very cool, very fascinating. Today, I'm just, you know, playing around with ray marching steps. It's so much faster, and it recalculates in an instant. It's so much better than what we had before. Like, before, this would just be so many groups chained together. It would be such a pain to make. Now, it's fairly simple. You only need one node group. And I do wonder if I could... I have the position. I can offset the position in screen space. Could I go and do that in... kind of doing that there. Could I derive the normal in the NPR part using the image offset? Could I do that? Because they're kind of doing that right there. Let me go and hide these, because that is just visual noise. They are using the vector transform to the camera. So I guess in a way, could I hack this to get the normal? I won't need all of them. I will just need 2 image offsets and then the regular one. Maybe that can offset the position? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Well, let's experiment. Let's go and have some fun today. Because we need it. We need it. Let's go and have some fun. And we're in the NPR branch. Yeah, the one caveat is that if something doesn't have an NPR part, you can't tab in and out easily. So let's put these over to here. We don't need that. We need not the position input, but the part from the object. So fortunately, AOV... Oh wait, oh, I'm forgetting. It's been a hot minute since I've done AOVs. I need to... shader AOV. We'll have this just be position. Hopefully, I don't think that's used by Blender. We'll do that so that we can chain that into there so that we could get all, you know, all the other data that we want. Color, yeah, no, that's a color. That should be fine. Now let's go and get an AOV input. Input. AOV. There we go. So that's a color and a value. And then, does this work? Let's go and connect that there. Let me read that comment. Thanks, I've been wanting to try some ray marching, so this is super interesting to see. Oh yeah, like this project, I forget how I made this fractal. Like, it was partly accidental in the way that I got this kind of culling to work, but it works okay. It's just like an inverted sphere. Yeah, all this is, interesting. So, now that I have the position... That is not the position. Let me go back to the shader editor. I want the position. There we go. There we go. And can this exist if... No, okay. All the shader AOVs need to be defined there. So we have that. So if we offset this by pixels by 1, but maybe it's not like actually 1. Then we dot product that from that. There's no... Yeah, no. Since it's a constant offset. It has to be... No, wait. Wait. No, not dot product. That needs to be a subtract. Dang it. I keep forgetting Node Wrangler does not actually exist in this part. Wait, why is that Z? That should be... Ooh! Unexpected, but hey, that is... Alright. Okay, okay, okay. Let's keep pulling this thread and see what happens. Interesting. Okay, so maybe that's not, you know, an accurate normal, but that's something at the very least. Yeah, I need to... Ooh. Those colors remind me of 3D glasses. Yeah, so I need to remember how to actually get the normal, because the only thing I can think of, since we're offsetting the image sample, we may also have to offset the position by that same amount, but that would have to be transformed by this and all that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to do that. But here, let me go and do this. I want to make this look as clean as possible. Offsets, yeah, all that seems to be very nice. There we go, clean. Make sure all your node setups are clean. I've dealt with very messy node setups in the past. Wow. That's so trippy. What can I do? Okay, so that does that. Yeah, I don't recognize these colors in particularly. Let's get the length and see what that looks like. Oh, okay, so... Oh, wait. I just got... Oh, okay, so this is an outline generator. Oh, okay. That's cool. Again, an effect that you would never... Oh, wait, this is like the Fractal. No, well, no, it's not. It's somewhat looking like Fractal, but it's not. No, it's not. Cool, a nice little effect. Okay, let's go into Absolute. That's the best thing about Blender. You can just go and fool around and see what happens. And most of the time, it looks really cool. So yeah, for the normal, I think I would have to pull what I had in my previous blend file into here, which may be less than ideal. Wow, that's interesting, seeing how that works. Actually, let's get the length and then do that, or no, distance, and get that light part again. Let's go and divide by 1. Nope, can't do Node Wrangler. That was a mistake. Why would... Oh, dang it, dang it, dang it, my brain. My poor little brain. It's running out of steam. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, let's just get the length again and take a look at that, because that was the most interesting... It's interesting that it's actually being slow. I'm assuming that's because of the AOVs. Hmm. And we can do fractals inside of the NPR tab, which means that we can do them on kind of this image-like basis, or like in the pixels, or... Yeah, we can do that. Which could be cool. Could be cool. This is like looking at the inside of a universe. Okay. So enough gawking at this absolutely incredible thing. Actually, no, we can do some more cool stuff. We can add in an Ooh, there we go. A nice outline into the mix. Cool, cool, cool. New Marvel film? Not quite. Not quite. The last time Marvel had fractals like this... Oh, was it Quantumania? Oh, that would be sad. Like, Doctor Strange 2 didn't have fractals like this. Oh, Guardians 2 had fractals like this. This is like an entire universe. Anyways, moving on. Is such a proceduralist thing to say. Yes, it is. Wow, I created a universe inside my computer. Okay, what's next? Which I am trying to somewhat get away of that kind of mindset of, oh, new thing, let's go and play with that. Okay, what's next? Because, if you keep chasing new stuff, you'll never be satisfied. But in cases like this, with features that have desperately been needed, like our old way of doing fractals inside of the shader editor was archaic. Having this method now just feels like making the shader editor more feature complete, even without the NPR side. Now if we could get a simulation zone inside of the shader editor, that would be some cool stuff. Actually, wait a second. Oh, I could use the rendering buffer trick and then mix that with the NPR in order to make a simulation. Oh, that could be cool. So, a long time ago, a friend of mine, I think Chris discovered. They found a way, or found a little hack, where you can input an image. You can render out an image sequence, but in the shader editor, only have the image input be the previous frame than the one that you're currently rendering. And then that would make a infinite loop, or, you know, it would be like a simulation zone. Slower, because at the time, something we did, or they did, I forget what part I played, because this was like probably 1 or 2 years ago at this point. I forget why Cycles was used instead of Eevee. With the NPR stuff, some cool stuff can be made. Like, lots of cool stuff can be made. I just said, don't try to like chase after the shiny new object, and I just did that. Oh well. I'll learn one of these days. I'll learn. I will learn. Let's see. There's an NPR branch, like the stuff in Goo Engine. Yes, the Goo Engine creators are collaborating with Blender to make this branch. Late as usual, if you know them on Twitter, they seem to be involved. I forget to what degree. I've been out of this kind of scene for a hot minute, because I have been busy. I know I say that a lot, but I am not exaggerating. But yes, personally, I have not used Goo Engine because I've been locked. Well, my work involves regular unbranched Blender, but I know people who have used it and they have given good reviews of it. It allows for a lot of stylized effects, so seeing that coming into Blender is very cool. And I do like this current setup of how the NPR editor is implemented, because it feels less like a brand new editor in the sense of like how Geometry Nodes was. I was like, oh no, a new editor, that might start to bloat like the texture node editor, which nobody uses, the geometry node editor, the shader editor, but it is a part of the shader editor, which is why we can tab in and out, we get all the input nodes and stuff like that, even though it acts quite differently. Or in some cases, you know, image sampling, that part's all. I do not know the internals of that, but I know that it is very, what is the word that I'm looking for? It is very weird and cool. That's the word. Whoa. Look at that. They're onions. The coolest onions you've ever seen in your life. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. Really does look like the beginnings of a universe. Let's go and bring this down to something that is human comprehensible. I've been working in Goo Engine for the past few months. It's quite useful for anime, but the NPR branch is a new beast. So this may be better than Goo Engine, or at least have some different features. Again, I haven't played around with Goo Engine, so I am very ignorant of its possibilities. I want a floor, or no, maybe, no, a floor that looks like this would be rather ugly. But maybe, yeah. Maybe like, I don't know, a painting, not a painting, but I want a hologram that looks like this. And actually, I have a looking glass. So I can go and render out a 3D version of this and then just have it in the looking glass display. For those of you who don't know, a while back, the folks at Looking Glass, they make 3D displays where you don't need 3D glasses. It's a lenticular display, which they were very kind to send me one, and I did a lot of 3D effects on there. So I could render this out and then just have this on my desk and just be able to see the 3D nature of it. That could be very cool. We'll have to try that. Wow. Yeah, I still need to find more stuff to do with the old Minecraft parkour civilization over here. Okay, I should try. Let's try to copy one of these setups into the NPR editor. So here, we'll just go and move this over to here. I guess this would be... My prediction is that this will look almost exactly like the putting this into the sky texture. So I don't have spectacular hopes for it, but maybe it'll look cool. So we have that, we get the geometry position in there, and then we put that out to there. Oh, nothing happens. Uh-oh. Why would that not function? Okay, it does function. But, as we can see, there's a difference. Something is different. Oh, it's slower. Oh, it is quite a bit slower. I'm assuming that's just because of how the NPR part works. Like, it probably really hates that that is inside of the zone. No, that shouldn't matter. Yeah, maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe you just shouldn't... Maybe you shouldn't put fractal, extremely heavy fractal stuff into the NPR editor. That may not be a good idea. This is only at 30, so yeah, it could get a lot worse. Yeah, no, it is chugging. Okay, let's go and ignore that test. Probably should wrap up the stream. We're at almost an hour and 30 minutes, which is fun. I didn't quite get to all the things I wanted to try with the NPR branch, but I need more time to research. Oh, I wanted to do more with the light zones, because that's where magic will be. Because with the... Actually, can I do this here? Yeah, let's try to do... Okay, if I remember correctly, I can get the distance and then make a pseudo-Voronoi pattern. Using... Well, I could just use the repeat zone and then a ton of distances to do that, but it's cooler if I use the lights. So let's try to use the lights. So here we can see the kind of just turning off the shading on this. So in this case, it's not using any of the shading models that this demo file from the devs have included, which, hey, it's interesting. I thought the models here would be a little more complicated. Oh, a power of 20. Interesting. Interesting. And then roughness to shininess, and then that's set to 3. Okay. Remember, power nodes are very, like, fractional powers are very expensive. Okay, what am I forgetting? Yeah, it's interesting to see how small the shading setups, like all these shader things are. I am stumbling over my words. Okay, let's go and make a new setup for this NPR stuff so that we can do fun things with lights. So let's go into here and then use a light loop. There we go. Let's move this over to here, a light loop. There we have that. So what I want to do is have just... That music jump scared me a little bit. I've been trying to get different YouTube tracks, but that was like 3 weeks ago. Since the Zelda music got copyright claimed, which is very, very fascinating. But I'm assuming that's from like one of those scam claims. I want to use a minimum. I want to get the min or the max, I forget which one. I keep forgetting with these. I want to get the min distance between both of those, and then I may have to use a map range so that it doesn't fry my brain. Okay, no, the Voronoi, there we go. Now we're getting a pseudo Voronoi right here. Which I truly don't know. How would I make it so that one color appears in each cell? How would that be done? Because with the light zone, I can make as many of these as it... Well, okay, maybe not as many, because it will probably start lagging if I have too many in one part. Well, I think there's something cool I can do with it. And if we just take the attenuation here, let's have another value. Let's just set that to be 0, and then we add all the attenuations up. This will look like, you know, regular light stuff. So let's go and do that, pass that through, take a look. There we go. Now we just have a ton of lights doing their thing. I can do that, but how do I feel like I can make it so that... Oh yeah, no. If I use a greater than... That is greater than this. Then the color will mix from what the previous light was to the current light. Yes, yes, yes. If this works, I am a genius. If it does not work, then oh well. There we go. We'll have the... Oh, right. There we go. Now if we take a look at the output here, we should see the exact opposite of what I want. Less than. Not great. Not great. I am missing something crucial. There is a way to do it, and I am forgetting. Greater than, subtract, no. This is a shadow mask, but we don't really need that. Direction. No, that doesn't make a difference. We don't get the light rotations, which could be useful for decals, but that's a story for another time. What am I missing? So if I think about this like geometry nodes, the distance there, the distance gets greater as it goes out. Then the distance... Okay, let's take a look at our distance gradients again. They look like this. So when a new light comes into the scene... Or no. No. We want the difference. We want the difference between the actual distance and the distance... No, that wouldn't work either. Parts that are less than, or... No. No. Subtract. If I only have 2 lights, then I would be able to test this, but that means I would have to get rid of all the lights in the scene. Oh well, let's do that. Okay, let's go and hide every single light, besides you two, for testing purposes. There we go. So here, we can go and connect that to the output. I know I'm adding a lot of outputs, but there we go. So if we subtract those two, which one is first and which one is second? There's another light. There you go. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go, okay. So that light is looking at there. It's looking at the stuff it doesn't expect. We do that. But I don't want that. Or no, maybe I do. I want the part that's greater than that. That'll turn into a kind of Voronoi cell. But that, I'm just doing a greater than again. So when we add 3... Yeah, no, this is just... I'm missing something crucial. Mix? No. I think we're at the point where I am just messing around with things that I do not understand, and it will not turn out well. Oh, that's cool. Oh, and you can see that they're all fighting for first place. It's also interesting how the parts, you can tell which pixels were not written to yet. Because, you know, the parts get overlaid. Look at that, that's cool. Alright, let's take a break on that for now. Let's just take a look at the shadow masks. So we have that, but now if we move this up, we should see... Oh, right. We get a spotlight, and then we get... On, buddy. There we go. Now we can see the shadow mask. Pretty cool, pretty nice. One thing a friend of mine mentioned is that we don't have the shadow map data, which I'm unsure if we can get that due to the virtual shadow maps. I know one of the devs mentioned something. I'm not entirely sure, but that would allow for more shading, cool shading stuff. Because right now we can get the distance to the lights. We can see here if we divide. Here, let's take out all lights except the main one. And let's take a look at you. There we go. We're getting the distance from the light. Oh, and everything outside of that distance equals 0. Fascinating. Cool, cool, cool. So, yeah, that is very fascinating. I am learning quite a bit. But yeah, this gives us the distance, but not like the projected distance that the light would cast. Which I'm not sure if that's possible with virtual shadow maps. But anyway. Yes, I think now it is time to wrap up the stream, but let me multiply the shadow masks together so that we can see the actual results. So here we can see 2 shadow masks overlaid. They do that. Or wait. Yeah, no, these are supposed to be added, not multiplied. What was I thinking? There we go. That's I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. And then you need the colors and all that, but that's fine. Actually, we can, let's do that. So we go scale that, and then we add that to the other colors. Vector math, it's nice. Let's go there, and now we, come on. There we go, buddy. There we go. So now, as we can see, I screwed it up again. No, we want the previous light color. There we go. There we go. Took a second, but here we are. And then you just go and lower the... Oh, interesting. Interesting, very interesting. We can multiply that to lower it. Because the attenuation does... Oh, that's weird. Oh, the color is not... Is it clamped? No, it's not clamped, okay. So all I need to do is to use a vector math min. And then that will limit it to 1. There we go, there we go. Now we get those shadow masks adding on top of each other, and if I turn that down even more, we can see the overlays. So here... Oh wait, that means we can do color mixing. Instead of them just adding, we could potentially separate the hues, saturations, and values, and then mix those. Ooh, that could be cool. So in the parts where they overlap... Oh, this could be interesting. Okay, so we can separate color, change this to be hue, saturation, and value, and then combine them. Combine... color, hue, saturation, value, there we go. And then we can pass that along. Fascinating. This could be... You know, I do not know what I am doing, don't get any expectations otherwise. But this could be cool. So what we want is that part going into there, that part, yeah, that part's fine. Get the value, and we can add the values together. I want to add all these separately, because that could... What happens if we do that? Okay. I hadn't really seen shadows like that before. Interesting. Very interesting. 0.25. I thought this was geonodes because of the zone. I do not blame you. I truly did not expect zones in the shader editor for a long time. But with this branch, we're seeing some cool stuff. We are seeing some cool stuff. Like, look at that. It is... Okay, the color mixing is not working accurately. Yeah, no, it is... That's supposed to be green. Oh, okay, yeah, no. We need to... okay, yeah. So, we put the colors... I am forgetting something, aren't I? We have the colors there, but we need the hues to be affected by the masks as well. So the hue, we also need to multiply by the value. Okay. We do that. Let's try saturation as well. There's a good chance that this will not work as intended. Because that's supposed to be... That's purple. But it's snapping. Okay, let's, fraction? Does that help? Does that help? No, not quite. Okay, let's leave that for another day. Alright, let's go and wrap up the stream. So, in summary, the NPR branch could lead to a lot of very cool stuff that I am not smart enough yet to fully figure out. But it's good at making cool outlines. And yeah, okay. With outlines, of course, you only need to sample it twice, which is good. One for the X, one for the Y. I can offset that even more. I can, what happens if I blur this? Okay, yeah, let's try some other cool stuff. So we can get the texture coordinate, we can get the camera so that we can do a 2D white noise texture, which why did I do that? Okay. Here we go. We can do that. We can get the camera part, and then we can offset based on this. Let's subtract that by 0.5 using vector math. There we go. Let's use a scale. Let's go and put that over to there. And now let's turn that up. So now we get a nice blurred outline. Well, I could use a repeat zone to do the blur, but blurring is fairly slow when you try to do it like that, and I do not trust myself in order to make a fast Gaussian blur. And wait, yeah, we can also just do this in the compositor, so that we can just blur in the compositor and call it a day. But this can be applied to selective objects, so some objects can have the outlines while others don't have it. So in theory, this is better than the compositor. Well, it has a different use case than the compositor. I don't want to diss on the compositor. Wait, why are we getting grids here? Oh wait, is that because of float point precision errors? Maybe. Looks like it, yeah. Looks like the image sample, or no, never mind. I screwed up something with, something, and then that something is biting me in the rear. Something in the fractal is causing that? No, it is the image sample. Okay. Okay, anyway. That is something I need to look into later. Intriguing. What if I dot... Yeah, what if I dot products? This will probably do nothing because, again... Yes, it does absolutely nothing. Which means that the two are... Yeah, no, that makes complete and total sense. Yep. Let's see. NPR is Eevee only, I would assume. Actually, yes, I meant to go and test that because I thought it would crash. So let's go and test that. Let's go and save this in its current condition. Let's go and remove all view. Let's go and save. Let's go here and switch to cycles. GPU compute. Let's take... Oh my god. I regret to inform you that currently, the repeat zones do not seem to work in cycles. Dang it. You know, that's to be expected because it, you know, still an experimental branch and all that cool stuff. Like if I set this to 1... Oh. Interesting. Yeah, that is to be expected. Because, you know, everything made in Eevee has to be remade for cycles and all that cool stuff. So, at least for the time being, cycles people cannot take advantage of the repeat zone. That is unfortunate. But if it ever gets merged, I would assume that cycles and Eevee would be able to use the zones. Whether or not the NPR part will work in cycles, I am not sure. Because Eevee and cycles spit out different data. Okay, I have delayed this for too long. So, yes, let's wrap this up. So, in summary, NPR is very cool. The repeat zones make things a lot faster because we don't need to use millions of node groups. And the future of the shader editor is bright. Very, very bright. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And let me read the last of the comments. The fractal is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. I use a repeat zone for blur, and it's actually really fast. I will need to look into that. Let's see. New to the stream, NPR. Yes, I did read that. Can this stuff be used to bake deluxe maps? Light maps with light direction information instead of shadows. Probably? I mean, if you can render, I actually don't know. Depending on what you mean by baking. Depending on what you mean by baking. Because, well, no, you can't bake an Eevee. Yeah, yeah, no. You do get the light, no, you can do that in cycles. You get all the light path data in cycles and then just bake that out. So I don't think the NPR branch gives more in terms of baking potential, because it is Eevee locked at the moment. But yeah, that is an interesting use case. Cool stream, always nice to watch. Have a good evening. Thank you. Yeah, it's always nice when other people who have experience with this kind of stuff join the stream. It is very cool. Very cool. Alright, when you entered the infinity cubes, my brain melted. Definitely trying this branch. Yes, I should also mention that all of these fractals are definitely possible in the old versions of Blender. Like the circle fractal was made in, like, I think 4.1 or 3.6, I forget which. It was just massively inconvenient because of the, like, 30 node groups you would need, and then in this case there were 20. Well, no, I only had 6 levels to the fractal. I would not recommend, now that we have the option of the repeat zone in this branch, I would not recommend doing fractals in any other version of Blender, just because it was such a pain to work with. But now now zones exist, which is very, very cool. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.